Guilty as charged.
Stop laughing! Hey, let's get them out of here!
The movie begins with an animated sequence called Me and My Shadow. It's a Looney Tunes style cartoon where the Joker is shown as a famous celebrity getting ready for a big performance. But suddenly, his shadow turns against him. It starts acting on its own, copying Joker's dark personality and hurting several people. The shadow then walks onto the stage and performs a musical number as if it were the real Joker. In the end, Joker manages to take back control from his shadow. But at that exact moment, the police arrive and begin beating him. In the next scene, we see Arthur Fleck inside Arkham State Hospital, where he has been locked up for the past 2 years because of his crimes. One morning, he is scheduled to meet his lawyer. The prison guards wake him up early and tell him to get ready.
Let's go, Arthur.
Come on, Fleck. Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Move.
Bring get me!
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
I got a joke for you. This guy's dog dies. He goes down to the church and he asks Father if he'd perform a funeral for him. Sorry, my son, we can't have a service for an animal. And he says, do you think $2,000 would be enough to cover the service? Why didn't you tell me the dog was Catholic?
After that, Arthur is taken to meet his lawyer, Miss Stewart. On the way, they pass by a music class. A young woman named Harleen Quinzel, also known as Lee, notices Arthur as he walks past. She calls out to him and then makes a gun gesture at her head, which makes Arthur smile. When they reach Miss Stewart's office, she is clearly upset to see that the guards brought Arthur without an umbrella, leaving him completely soaked from the rain. She then explains that Dr. Batty believes Arthur developed a split personality because of the severe trauma he suffered during his childhood. According to the doctor, this other Joker personality inside Arthur is responsible for his violent crimes and needs proper mental health treatment instead of punishment. Because of this, Dr. Batty wants to record a videotaped interview with Arthur to prove that he is competent, so he can receive a proper and fair trial.
Start with the first incident, okay? 3 men who accosted you on the subway, who bullied you. Did you black out? See bright lights? How about Murray Franklin? What, if anything, do you remember about that night?
The music.
You came out dressed as Joker.
My mom and I used to watch it.
He's so handsome. Look at those sparkling white teeth.
Do you often hear her voice in your head?
All the time.
This other part of you, did it come out more after she died? You lived together, right? In a 1-bedroom apartment? Would he like to talk to me?
In the following scene, Arthur is standing in the jail courtyard when a young prisoner named Ricky approaches him. Ricky tells Arthur that the guard said he is a good kisser and that he wants Arthur to teach him. Arthur casually leans in and gives Ricky a quick kiss on the lips. After that, Arthur walks over to the guards, who watch the whole thing and find the situation amusing.
Since they made that TV movie about you, everybody still thinks you're a star.
I said that's life.
All right, Arthur.
The next day, Jackie takes Arthur to the music class, where he is warmly welcomed by everyone. Later, when Jackie gets distracted, Arthur takes the chance to talk to Lee and introduces himself. Lee then tells Arthur that she set her parents' apartment on fire, and because of that, her mother had her admitted to this correctional facility.
Dad was killed in a car accident. The whole time I was watching, I kept thinking, I hope this guy blows his brains out. And for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore. Ready for the judgment. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy.
Thanks, pal.
Arthur then enters a room where the news announces that he has been declared competent to stand trial. However, at the same time, Assistant District Attorney Harvey Dent holds a press conference, revealing that the state will seek the death penalty. He openly calls Arthur a monster. Meanwhile, Arthur's supporters across Gotham continue to spread chaos in his name, treating him like a martyr. Soon after, another prisoner asks Arthur how he feels about everything he just heard. Instead of reacting with fear, Arthur begins singing joyfully. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, as he expresses his love for Lee. Later, Jackie takes Arthur to a screening of the movie The Bandwagon. Arthur sits next to Lee, but she wants him to go outside with her. Arthur tells her that if they try to leave, the guard would shoot them, so he turns his attention back to the movie. Lee tries to get closer to him, but Arthur doesn't notice. Feeling ignored, she walks to the back to smoke a cigarette. There, she lights a matchbox and throws it on the floor, secretly setting the theater room on fire before returning to her seat. After some time, the fire begins to spread, drawing everyone's attention. People panic and rush to escape the room. Using the chaos as a distraction, Arthur and Lee finally kiss and manage to sneak out of the prison building. Outside, the two of them happily sing and dance together. Eventually, they reach the facility's main entrance gate, where a crowd of reporters is already waiting to cover Arthur's story. They begin climbing the gate, trying to escape, but the guards quickly catch up to them and drag them back to their cells.
You want to play games on my watch, Arthur?
In this dream, Arthur is dressed as the Joker and is performing on a stage alongside Lee, who sings a song expressing her love for him. Later on, Lee visits Arthur in his cell and tells him that the guards allowed her to come see him. She explains that she's being sent back home because the administration believes Arthur is a bad influence on her. Still, she is happy because this means she will be able to attend his trial every day. The two grow close, but before things go any further, Lee says she wants to be with Arthur's real self. She then pulls out a bag of makeup she secretly brought with her and paints his face like a clown. After that, they share an intimate moment together. A few days later, Ms. Stewart arranges an interview for Arthur with a television personality named Patty. She advises Arthur to be his true self and to show that his alternate personality is the one responsible for the crimes, while his real self is actually a good person.
Just be yourself.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
Fleck committed 5 horrific murders in the span of just 4 weeks.
The Joker is sitting down for his first interview since that infamous night on Murray Franklin.
What was going through your mind when you pulled out that gun and blew his brains out?
I was going through a lot back then. I don't really remember much from that night.
You did it on live TV, pal. Doesn't get any more real than that.
I thought Murray was playing a part in my show.
You get what you bleeping deserve. That's what you said. Do you deserve to die?
That's not who I am.
That wasn't really you.
That's
Let me get this straight. Alternate personality, this killer clown in you killed Murray.
Oh, do you really care? You don't. You want to talk about the things that I did in the past, not about who I am now. That's what we should be talking about, Patty.
What's changed, Arthur?
I'm not alone anymore.
You two put on quite a performance that night.
Oh, but a fool can have her charm.
When the interview airs on television, Lee is standing outside a TV shop and sees Arthur on the screen singing for her. Overcome with emotion, she smashes the shop's glass, steals the TV, and carries it away with her. A few days later, Arthur's trial officially begins, and he is taken to court under extremely tight security.
Trial.
When Arthur reaches the courtroom, he immediately looks around, searching for Lee, but she hasn't arrived yet. As the trial gets underway, Lee finally enters the room, though she is seated far in the back. Meanwhile, the prosecution begins by calling a psychiatrist, Dr. Liu, to the stand as their expert witness.
Any and all outbursts will not be tolerated. Sydney, please call the case.
The people of the state of New York versus Arthur Fleck.
Dr. Liu testifies that he interviewed Arthur for about 2 hours and found no signs of multiple personality disorder. He admits that Arthur may have some minor psychological issues, but he believes Arthur committed the murders willingly and only pretends to have another personality. When it is the defense's turn, Ms. Stewart challenges his claims. She points out that Dr. Liu actually interviewed Arthur for only 89 minutes, which is far too short to properly diagnose serious psychiatric disorders. She then reveals that Arthur was physically abused during his childhood, which may have caused him to escape in a fantasy and create another identity. According to her, this hidden persona likely emerged when Arthur was being bullied on the subway by 3 drunk men.
By 3 drunk bullies on the subway.
Then I remember Sophie.
Objection.
I had another...
Mr. Fleck,
These are my own personal private jokes. They weren't meant to be read out loud.
Quiet!
Miss Kane,
Please continue reading.
Then I remember Sophie.
That's Sophie Dumont, Mr. Fleck's neighbor, whom he was obsessed with. November 17th, stabbed Randall Kleimanhofer to death and killed Murray Franklin.
He often wrote about his fantasies, women he had imaginary relationships with. These unfunny jokes.
Moments later, Miss Stewart visits Arthur and tells him that they actually have a strong chance of winning the case, but Lee could ruin everything. Arthur responds by saying that Lee is just like him, so she must be looking out for him. Hearing this, Miss Stewart reveals the truth about Lee. She explains that Lee comes from a wealthy part of the city and that her father, who is a doctor, is still alive. She also reveals that Lee voluntarily admitted herself to Arkham Asylum and later checked herself out. Lee never set fire to any apartment and even attended graduate school to study psychiatry. Once again, Arthur drifts into his imaginary world, where he performs a stage song with Lee. In the song, they both express their love for each other. But Arthur slowly begins to feel that Lee is turning everything into being about herself. Suddenly, Arthur imagines Lee pointing a gun at him and shooting him. He is left confused, wondering why Lee would do such a thing. In the following scene, Arthur is back at the asylum when Jackie tells him that Lee has come to visit. When Arthur meets her, he asks if she lied to him. Lee admits that everyone tells a few lies and that she lied just to get closer to him.
I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
Did you really watch that TV movie they made about me 20 times?
It was great. They're laughing at you in there. She doesn't care about you. I'm pregnant.
What?
Why do birds...
The next day, the trial hearing resumes, and the prosecution calls Sophie, Arthur's former neighbor, to testify. Sophie explains that Arthur once broke into her apartment, although she never reported the incident to the police at the time. When Harvey asks whether this behavior matches Arthur's usual personality or suggests a different one, Sophie says she didn't really know Arthur that well. However, she mentions that she had a good relationship with Penny, Arthur's mother, who told her that her son was mentally disturbed. After that, Miss Stewart questions Sophie and asks whether Arthur ever threatened her or her daughter. Sophie says that Arthur never did anything like that, and adds that even Penny used to say Arthur wouldn't hurt a fly. She also explains that Penny had been telling Arthur a story since he was a child, that he was brought into this world to spread joy,
his whole
which
life
is why she
around this
always called him
made-up
happy.
story. She just thought it was ridiculous that he thought he could make people laugh. I mean, she said Arthur wasn't funny at all.
There's always a joker.
Yeah, that he had never had a girlfriend.
Oh, I can't do this anymore.
I want to fire my lawyer.
Eventually, because of the chaos inside the courtroom, the session is adjourned and Arthur is taken back to the court's holding cell. After a short while, Lee comes to see him. She encourages Arthur and tells him that what he did was right, adding that the audience in the courtroom is supporting his decision. Later, as Arthur is being transported back to the asylum, a radio news broadcast reveals that even though Miss Stewart and Harvey strongly opposed Arthur representing himself, the judge reluctantly allowed it. When Arthur returns to the asylum, all the inmates begin cheering and showing their support for him, creating total chaos. The guards are eventually forced to step in to restore order. The next day, the hearing resumes, and Arthur arrives dressed in his full Joker outfit. Meanwhile, District Attorney Harvey calls his next witness, Gary Puddles. Gary, a former coworker of Arthur, testifies that he witnessed Arthur murder another coworker named Randall. Instead of denying the accusation, Arthur immediately starts mocking Gary's last name, Puddles, questioning what kind of name that is.
Expect us to believe that your last name is Puddles.
I'm not going to let you turn my courtroom into a circus.
Mr. Puzzles. What else did you see that day?
You're stabbing him in the eye?
Randall was a bit of a bully, wasn't he?
Did you catch my act on the Murray Franklin show later that night?
I was locked up in the police station in an interview room.
You didn't see the show. You didn't see anything I had to say. I can't believe it. When, as you say, you saw me bash Mr. Kleinman, did I seem like a different person?
It isn't you.
It isn't me. So you don't think this is me?
Because nobody knew I existed. But look around, look at all these people.
What you are proving here today is that you are no different.
Stupid guards at Arkham that think that they can treat me like trash. I am free. couldn't go back to work. I felt so small. You got a flair for the dramatic. You are tugging at my heartstrings, little Gary. You were the only one at work who never made fun of me. I said, no more questions, Your Honor. That's all, folks.
At this point, many people begin criticizing Arthur, saying that his behavior is only pushing him closer to the death penalty. A reporter then asks what Arthur would do if he were released. In response, Arthur looks at Lee, who begins singing, "We're going to build a mountain from a little hill." Inside his imagination, Arthur joins her, performing the song together, and he even imagines marrying her. Later, when Arthur is brought back to Arkham Asylum, Jackie and the other guards are furious after being insulted on live television. They viciously attack Arthur, ripping his clothes and wiping off his makeup, while telling him that his costume doesn't make him better than them.
Come on, Arthur.
I think he knocked himself out.
All right, I get it, Jackie. Let me tell you one I used to do about my mother. And she only dated abusive guys. Why do you stay with your abusive boyfriend? Beats the hell out of me! Let's go. Let's go. What'd you do to him?
The Saints go marching in.
No. Are they coming now?
He's up, Jay. Let him go. He can't.
Eventually, Ricky is strangled to death while Arthur hears everything from inside his cell. The next day marks the final day of the trial, and Lee arrives looking excited and dressed up. Arthur also appears once again wearing his Joker outfit. Judge Herman instructs him to give his closing statement. Arthur slowly pulls a chair close to the jury and sits down in silence. After a long pause, he finally speaks. He admits that he had planned to fully act as the Joker and blame everyone else for his miserable life. But now, he says he can't do that anymore because he's not the person people expect him to be. He then declares that there is no Joker, explaining that it was only a fantasy he created to escape reality. Arthur confesses to killing 6 people, including his own mother, but says he now wants to move forward and start a new life. As he speaks, he becomes emotional, saying he wishes he had never committed those murders, but he knows he can't change the past. Hearing this, Arthur's supporters feel betrayed and disappointed. Many of them, including Lee, get up and leave the courtroom. About an hour later, before the jury announces its verdict, Arthur tries calling Lee, hoping she will return. He sings a song into the phone, telling her that if she leaves him, he will have nothing left. Lee listens to the song on her voicemail, but doesn't respond, overwhelmed by disappointment. Shortly after that, the jury begins reading its verdict, officially declaring Arthur guilty of his murders.
Franklin, find Arthur Fleck guilty as charged.
Stop laughing!
Hey, let's get them out of here!
Moments later, Arthur regains consciousness, crawls out through a broken wall, and steps outside. As soon as he appears, some of his supporters spot him and rush over, trying to help him escape by quickly putting him into a car.
Can you cut around it?
No, chill out. It's red. It's okay. Calm down.
We can go.
All we had was the fantasy, and you gave up. There is no Joker. That's what you said, isn't it?
I can't live without you.
With a kind of a glow, and you'll say, with a touch of
Just
romance.
Stop.
Goodbye, Arthur.
The police soon arrive and capture Arthur, sending him back to the asylum once again. A few days later, a guard informs Arthur that he has a visitor. As Arthur is being escorted to meet this visitor, a young inmate suddenly stops him and asks if he wants to hear a joke. Arthur agrees to listen.
Sitting there, all alone. I used to watch you on TV. What can I get you? If you're buying, you can get me anything. How about I get you what you deserve?
As Arthur collapses to the ground, dying from his wounds, the young inmate sitting behind him bursts into uncontrollable laughter. He then takes a knife and carves a permanent smile into his own face, officially becoming the real Joker. And this is where the movie comes to an end. Be sure to check out our recap of the first Joker movie on our channel, which is way better than this one. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe to Epic Movies in Short, hit the like button, and share the video for more awesome movies. And as always, thank you very much for watching.